Time is now. You should be receiving your W-2s from your employer, or as people want to get their tax situation squared away. And so we have an expert with us, Nicole Bononi-Wilson. Welcome to KDKA.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm truly excited to be here. As a Westmoreland County native, this feels a bit like coming home.
Oh, great.
Growing up, my father and I listened to KDKA every morning on the way to school, and I took those morning contests very seriously. I would call in like my life depended on correctly answering the trivia question at 7:15, which at that age it pretty much did. So again, being here is like a full circle moment, only this time I'm not frantically dialing in hoping someone else doesn't beat me to it.
So you work with a giant tax firm, Prager Metis, is that correct?
Yes, I do. I specialize in tax controversy.
Wow. Well, a couple of things that are really important for people to know. So first, tax law changes as we are into a new year. What are some of the major changes that you're tracking?
Oh, it's so many changes. Even the tax professionals were double checking the rules. There's dozens. You know, you're seeing them, like you said, on the federal and state by state adjustments, inflation updates. One example, for example, under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is the SALT, or state and local tax, which is a deduction cap that's significantly higher. And in plain English, more of the taxes you already paid may now actually count towards your federal return. Another one that affects real-world Western PA is the OBBBA permanently extends and strengthens opportunity zone incentives, which basically means that it's bringing real benefits to communities across Western PA. It encourages long-term private investment in distressed areas, such as parts of Pittsburgh, Erie, Johnstown, McKeesport, and Aliquippa. These incentives make redevelopment projects more attractive and financially feasible. Long story short, it's, in summary, creating new opportunities for individuals and family across the region. And frankly, Western PA could use a little boost that isn't just another Steelers rebuild.
What about, the average taxpayer like us? What are the advantages of the changes for this year?
Well, one advantage I'll tell you, Pennsylvania is actually rolling out a brand new benefit called the Working Pennsylvanians Tax Credit, or also known as the WPTC. And this credit is solely designed to put real money back into the pockets of working families across Western PA. Here's how it works. If you qualify for the federal earned income credit, you automatically qualify as state credit. So Pennsylvania will actually give you an extra 10% of whatever your federal credit, which is up to $805. It's fully refundable, which means you can get money even if you don't owe Pennsylvania tax. I believe over 1 million Pennsylvanians were going to be provided this relief. And it's for things like groceries, childcare, transportation, whatever help keep things running at home.
What about people who work off of tips? I know there's some major changes that people have been waiting for, and this is the year they kick in. Is that correct?
It is. So, tips, it's a whole new ballgame.
You can deduct as much as $25,000 from tips received. That's what I'm reading.
Yes. You are absolutely correct. So it's still considered income and it still has to be reported. That hasn't changed. But like you said, you can deduct 25,000 qualified tips from your income taxes as long as they're in a job where tips were customary and they meet income limits.
The other one that may be of interest to a lot of listeners is eligible senior citizens who have turned 65 last year can also be able to claim an additional deduction of $6,000.
Yes.
That's one that people need to know about. This is why, and my question to you is, a lot of people, if they just have a W-2, they do their own taxes, the tax forms are fairly simple. We joke the 1040 is how much did you make, send it in. But When does it benefit people to kind of break down and make sure that you're getting the maximum benefit? Nobody wants to pay a penny more than they actually owe.
I agree. And that's where you need to be proactively meeting with somebody throughout the year. I always say when it becomes this time of year, we all start digging through the drawers in that mysterious tax folder we all have that we swore last year we were going to organize. So I'm actually going to encourage individuals, even for the 2026 year, not just thinking above your 2020 filing, to visit with a tax professional, because there's 2 steps. You need to gather all your documentation, like you're beginning to cook a meal, you're prepping. And then 2, you need to know the changes of the tax rules. And, as we were just discussing, it's vast this year. Knowing what's changed can mean the difference between a smooth filing and perhaps an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah, you don't want that letter, right, saying, what's this about? But it's almost everybody does file electronically these days. In fact, it's encouraged to the point where the federal government wants you to do it that way.
1,000%. And if you do anything by paper mailing, track it. Certified mail. Always keep your receipts like your life depended on it.
All right. Where'd you grow up in Westmoreland County?
I'm from good old Greensburg, PA, where a family immigrated from Italy, and my grandfather and his brother started his first CPA practice. My father is still a CPA, and I'm practicing tax as well. So
3rd generation. Well, appreciate your time this morning, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and stay warm out there. I saw the snow.
You got it. Nicole Bononi-Wilson, who is with Prager Menace, a giant tax firm. And, yeah, make sure you look. Make sure you're getting what you deserve when you do that, and track it, because there are some major changes for this year that won't necessarily affect what you did last year, but some will too. So